Is you down for the vibe? Leaving you the last thing on my mind. If you follow back, think we last the whole time. So far, yeah,
JP.
That boy Mr. DoneRight don't miss.
YouTube, what's poppin', man? It's your boy Mr. DoneRight tapping in with y'all with another fire tutorial. Let's go. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you've been here before, DoneRight family, you know what it is. You know how we about to get down. If you're new to the channel, I just want to say thank you for watching and welcome to the family, man. This is what we call the film room. This is an opportunity for me and you guys to learn how to, create beautiful haircuts, tips and tricks that barbers can use every day, and how to be better barbers, how to be better service providers. So just want to thank y'all for watching, man. So we're gonna get right into it. Today we're doing a number 4 on top, mid fade, skin fade. Typically those names go hand in hand. A skin fade, it can be high, mid, or medium, or low, which is called the drop fade, the low drop. So those names can be interchangeable, but today we're going to be doing a mid fade. It's going to have a little drop in the back, and as you can see here, as we start this bald line, I'm not going straight across. I'm dropping it in the back under that occipital bone. Okay, so I want it to have a little bit of a drop effect, and this part is very simple. We're just balding it out, making sure that everything is clean and that our guideline is very even, very flush. So pretty simple right here, guys. And for the bald line, I do it on one side of the head, and then I start on the other side and meet in the back. So that makes sure that both sides are even and everything is symmetrical. Symmetry is super important whenever it comes to haircuts like this, because obviously you don't want one side of the head to be higher than the other side. And using reference points and making sure that everything is symmetrical is gonna make sure that the finished product is symmetrical and even. Okay, so after that, we're just gonna go in with the shaver, going in right underneath that, leaving a little bit of space, so then that way the shaver isn't right on the faded zone. Okay, so we're gonna leave a little bit of that stubble from the trimmer, and as you can see here, I'm not going straight up to the bald line that I created with my trimmer. I'm going right under that, and I'm not using both sides. I'm not using both sides of the shaver. I'm only using one side. Here, we're gonna go in with our wall seniors, no guard, lever all the way open, and we're gonna make the guideline about a 1/2 inch. Okay, I'm gonna stretch it out a little more towards the back. As you can see, it's starting to open up a little bit towards the back. Okay, that's just because the hair on the back of someone's head is typically thicker, so you want to make sure you stretch it a little bit. Next, we're gonna go in with the one guard, all the way open, about a 1/2 inch above that. Okay, same process, just with the one guard on it now. Yeah. Look, this one is so simple, guys, man. I tried to change up the way that I faded on this one just to make it a little simpler. So we're gonna go in with the number 2 guard, and we're gonna do the same thing, going up about a 1/2 inch with the number 2 guard all the way open. Just working half the head right now, okay? This is obviously for demonstrative purposes, so then that way you guys can see what I'm doing in the simplest form. Number 2 guard, making multiple passes, just making sure everything's cut flush. Now we're gonna go in with the number 3, And this is where we connect the longer hair into that blended zone. Okay, so this is gonna be the highest guard that we use, and this is gonna tie in the top length to the sides. Okay, 3 guard and just flicking out. I'm not digging into the top. As you can see, my clipper is coming off of the head in that parietal ridge zone. So the parietal ridge is where the top of the head meets the side. Okay, now I just close the 3 guard, and I'm about to start working my way back down. So we're gonna go 3 close, 2 close, 1.5, 1 close, half guard, and then blend it all the way out. And that's just how simple this is gonna be, guys. This really doesn't have to be complicated whenever you break it down to its simplest form. I feel like a lot of times educators, they can overcomplicate things sometimes, and also barbers, sometimes being in our own heads, we can overcomplicate things. So here I'm using the 2 guard, and I'm just closing it, just working out that line, going right under the 2 guard open. That's where I'm gonna use the 2 guard closed. Okay, just debulking here, taking away hair that I don't want, taking away hair that I don't need. Debulking is really, to me, I mean, obviously the fade and the edge up are super important, but debulking is vital to making sure that everything has a flush transition to where it looks like everything is seamless, you know? Now we're going with the 1.5 guard, going right underneath that. So I think that the 1.5 guard and the half guard are detail guards. Sometimes you need them, but other times they're really just used to get those spots that you can't get with a 1 or a 2 guard, or the 1 and the clipper no guard. Okay, so those are just detail guards in my opinion. Okay, this is just gonna make sure that everything ties together between the 1 and the 2. Now we're gonna go in with the 1 closed, and you can see the line.
JP.
About to start knocking that out. Now there may still be a little faint line, but we're gonna get that out with the detail, the half guard. Okay, you can see that it's coming out already, but that half guard is gonna make sure that everything is taken out for sure. But as you can see, man, the fade it's already there. Okay, and I didn't do anything out of the ordinary. I didn't do anything crazy. I'm just making sure that I'm not pressing hard. Okay, that's a key right here. So as you can see, I think that body language is really important, and being able to read your client's body language is how you can tell if you're pressing too hard, if your trimmers are too sharp. So as you watch this video, you can see that his head isn't really being pushed by the clipper. Okay, his head isn't really moving like that, and that's good because that means that my touch is a lot lighter. Okay, a lot of times whenever the client's head is, being jerked back and forth, that's because you're pressing too hard. Don't choke the clipper. As you can see, I'm floating the clipper. I'm not trying to dig into his head. I'm floating it. Light work. Corner of the blade right here. Call that corner pocket. And this beat hard, I ain't gonna lie, man. Shout out JP Beats. Now we're gonna go in, no guard, and we gonna take out this bottom line. Super simple, man. This might be the easiest mid fade on YouTube. Like, the name, I feel like it's not even an exaggeration. I don't see how it could get any easier than this. Please let me know, how could I make this video easier? The steps are super straightforward, super simple. As long as you don't make your guidelines too big, you're flicking out, you're not pressing hard, And this is a seamless haircut. This is a fail-proof haircut.
JP.
You can't miss with this. And as you know, that boy Mr. DoneRight don't miss. So y'all know how I'm coming already. And I'm really just trying to stay consistent with these videos, guys. For real. Because you never know when your time is, man. So you just gotta keep working. You gotta keep grinding, bro. A lot of times as barbers, it could be discouraging whenever you don't have the clientele that you want. You're not making the money that you want. You don't have the recognition that you feel like you should have. But man, Caleb Plant, he said something, and it really stuck with me. He said, "I always been a world champion. I was just waiting for the world to catch up." So always just keep going, man. Keep pushing. Don't let nobody stop you from your dreams. Always believe in yourself, because you're always in your own corner, no matter if anybody else is or not. Sometimes you gotta take the road less traveled because other people don't understand your dream. You can't expect other people to understand your dream because it's yours.
JP.
But you could do it, man. Anybody that's listening to my voice right now, I tell this to myself all the time because, my parents tell it to me sometimes, my friends tell it to me sometimes, my clients even, they tell me like, man, I know you're gonna blow. But sometimes, you gotta hear it for yourself. So always believe in yourself, man, and tell yourself you can do it. Ain't nothing stopping you, man, but you, for real. You gotta get out of your own way. Get out of your head. Make sure that, you're doing what it takes to succeed. Now, if you ain't doing what it takes, you can't be mad if it don't happen. But as long as you're doing what it takes, man, it's gonna come. Straight up. So, obviously, I just sped up the rest for the other side of the head and connecting it into the back. So, again, I'm using the corners of my blade, and the back is really just tying the two sides together. So that's typically how I break down my haircuts on a fade that goes all the way around the head. I do one side, then I do the other side, and then I do the back to make sure that I just tie them together perfectly, So, and y'all just check this out. Listen to this fire instrumental. And I'll tap in with y'all whenever we're doing the edge up. Alright, so getting into his edge up, once I move and once I show the front angle, you'll be able to see the bang overhang and where his edge up, if I was to lift his hair up, where his edge up would naturally be. So he didn't want it to be where it naturally is, which is a lot higher, and that would expose a lot of his forehead. So you'll see me cut the bang overhang instead of cutting that all off. And everything, barbering is an art and a science, okay? So this is part of the art right here, okay? This is using barber discretion and my experience and expertise to determine what's the best place for his edge up instead of just pushing it back to where it's darker at. So as you can see, about 1/4 of an inch behind where I'm edging it up, that's where it actually gets dark at. But could you imagine if I just pushed that back and his forehead was exposed that much more? That's a lot. Okay? So just keep that in mind, guys. It's not always about, you know, the scientific part of barbering, but it's about the art, you know? So make sure that you're using your discretion, guys, and believe in your expertise. You know, a lot of times people don't necessarily know what's best for them whenever they come into the barber shop. But whenever they get a good barber like me or you, they're able to trust your judgment for what's best for them. Okay? So just make sure you keep that in mind. Here you can see better where the darkness starts on his edge up versus where I lined it up. And the first time I cut my client here, he actually didn't want me to edge up the front. But the second time, you know, I kind of just explained to him like, man, I won't push it back like that. And that's really what he was afraid of. So, man, sometimes, you know, you just gotta let your client know that, you know what you're doing, and they should trust you, because, I mean, a number 4 on top with no edge up in the front, it's a bad look, gang. Now, the fade was perfect, but it was just missing that lineup, you know, it was missing that touch. So now I'm just going over it, and my boy looking in the mirror like he don't really trust me, but nah, he trusts me, man. We've been locked in since the first time I cut him. So now I'm just gonna go in with the razor, make sure everything's sharp. And I think that this haircut, it came out really good. This is a 40-minute cut, super simple, but this is one of those ones where, you know, somebody's gonna be like, hey man, who cut your hair? You know, this is what it takes, guys. Practice over and over and over. 10,000 hours, man. I know y'all heard that before. It takes 10,000 hours to master something. So whenever you putting in work and you feel like you want to quit, just look back and think, man, have I put in 10,000 hours? If you ain't put in 10,000 hours, then you ain't even close to quitting. So just keep going, man. Keep going. Look how sharp that is, man. That look good. Drop some volcanoes in the chat, man. Y'all know how this go, Mr. DoneRight. Drop some volcanoes down below if I killed this cut, bruh. Big smoke, done rizzle, done right, don't miss. Going in just detailing right now. And it's where we at. This is the finished product, guys. So if you like this video, again, man, I would really appreciate if you like, comment, and subscribe for more DoneRight tutorials, brother, sister, whoever watching. My mama, I know she gonna watch this. My dad, my sister, my family. Look, man, y'all drop some volcanoes in the chat for me, bro. Let's go. Super 5, man. Let's go. DoneRight out.